and welcome to the Q Agenda. We are going through very special times, so we have very special episode today. We're trying something new with our hot topics, and today I'm super excited to be sharing my hot topic right now with the one and only Liana. Liana, how are you doing?
Hi, Enrique. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for joining me. Like we're trying new things, right here and in
I
our
know.
show.
I'm in my living room and the kids are next door, and I'm like, I'm going on TV. Be quiet. And that's like what's happening.
I love it. It doesn't get more real than this. Me too. Like I have like my little TV, my screen over here with the Q Agenda logo, just to
It's
light it
good.
up a little bit.
It's good. It's great. I love the details.
Hey, so this is the first time we see each other in this new year. How's everything? How are you doing?
Everything's good, Enrique. Thank you so much for asking. It was a big year. I got engaged at the end of last year,
I
and
know.
yes, we got a house, bought our first house, and it's been crazy. So I have high hopes for 2021, even though 2020 was, as we know, could have been better, to put it mild.
Yeah. I mean, like, and then if you think about it, it's 2021. It's almost like 2021 last year. So it's like whatever.
Oh, I saw that meme. Yeah.
Yeah,
Another meme that
ESL.
I saw that I really liked was because 2021 hasn't been that much better than 2020. So I liked a tweet that I saw that said like happy December 37th, 2020, everybody. And it's like, yeah, like let's not start the new year.
I
Let's just
love
keep
it.
counting.
Well, we started on fire now, and today's hot topic, we're going to talk about a little bit about social media platforms and how they kicked the president out. Uh,
Oh, yes.
Donald Trump
Yes.
is out of Twitter. So it's like one of his limbs has been taken away. And I would say like maybe even like a leg, because this was a huge limb. This was one that I definitely big time. So
I would
what are
argue it's his soul,
yeah,
man, right?
yeah,
Oh, he
totally.
must be going crazy. Can you imagine? Enrique, I have like 353 followers, and if someone took all that work away from me, I would be really upset. I have more than that. I'd be really upset. He had 84 million. That is a complete decapitation of brand. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly.
Insanity. And the thing about it though is like, well, now people are talking about it, and they're talking about like how this is messing with freedom of speech. I disagree, but I do have to say something, and I want to talk about this with you because you're always so smart about these things, and I really want to hear your opinion. um what are the standards for like somebody to get taken out of Twitter? Because as you know, I'm Venezuelan, and people like Maduro in Venezuela has been tweeting forever and threatening on violent acts and things like that, and he still has a Twitter. So I feel like if the purge is going to start, they should really purge. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I mean, I think what this all comes down to is in 1996, Congress attempted to address this issue for the times. And the internet at that time was still growing up. There wasn't a lot of regulation, there wasn't a lot of need for They just didn't know what was happening really at that time because everything was so new. So they passed something called the Communications Decency Act. And that is what we're hearing about so much today, about the president being like, we're gonna repeal Section 230. And you actually hear Democrats talking about the need to repeal Section 232 and 230 as well, I should say. And what that means is Section 230 is what gives our internet overlords the right to publish content without being considered the publisher. So in other words, they are supposed to be a marketplace that is just a public square, and they're not to be held responsible for any of the content that a third party puts on it. That's why you and I can go and tweet and we can say what we want, so long as we aren't breaking any federal rules. Or another part of Section 230 says that another part of Section 230 says that the companies are able to take down speech that they consider to be objectionable. And
Oh.
that's where the fight is. Republicans think that it's not a neutral marketplace, that our social media overlords are taking too much down,
Oh.
whereas Democrats think that they're actually not doing enough to regulate what we're tweeting. or posting, meaning that hate speech is fermenting in these public forums, and they're not doing enough. They need to be doing more. So both parties are running on updating Section 230. What Donald Trump would like to see happen is that big tech companies would like to see them stripped of what's called a liability shield, which means that they're not legally held responsible for stuff that people put on the internet. He thinks they should be open to being sued, to being able to be sued for something, for basically discriminating against different sort of conservative
but that's
thoughts.
like just now. He's
Yes,
coming
so
up with this brilliant idea.
That's why you saw when Twitter started back in May, quote unquote, censoring Donald Trump. What they did was they added a warning label, remember, under his tweets?
Of course, absolutely.
That
Who
was
can
just
forget
what,
that?
Yes, that's what they were doing to try to figure out their social responsibility without looking like they were biased against sort of Republican or conservative ideology or thought.
Right.
And so he was pissed about that, right? So he comes out with this executive order saying that they're not going to be able to do this for long. But because he was inciting a riot or inciting insurrection, those are serious accusations. And so Twitter is a private company. Facebook is a private company, to go back to what you were asking. And that is why they were successfully able to moderate Donald Trump off of their platform.
When we come back, we have more on the show today, so you don't want to go anywhere. You're right here with us on the Q Agenda.
Hello, Kalen, Allen. I am so excited to have you on. You have no idea. Like, all small talk aside, I've seen you since day one when you came on the Ellen Show back in like 2018. And the second I saw your smile and your spirit and your energy, I was like, there is no way this is going to be a one-time thing. Like, way out. And now I see you, like, you're one of those people who have truly, you've evolved so quickly. Like, you've gone from that to having your own OM Kalen segment. You've been on every red carpet. Mind you, slaying looks better than the people you're interviewing.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Like, now who hired him? Because he's stealing the spotlight.
Oh my God.
No, I'm so excited to have you on because I truly, you're one of the people that I've always wanted to get the chance to talk to. So I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. And these eyebrows are together, honey. Okay.
I tried just for you. In a dress just for you. I was like, I cannot show up for Kalen not bringing it. Okay.
Oh,
so
thank you.
I do want to start by saying, the Q Agenda, we are about quality and just, our panel is so diverse. Everybody has their own background. But more importantly, we are people who pride ourselves in living in our truth authentically and putting that out to the world. You are someone who does that fabulously. And I get the sense from what I've seen of you that you are someone who, you kind of focus on yourself. You don't look at what everyone else is doing. You go out there, you shine. For people watching, especially young LGBTQ youth people who, no matter what it is they want to do in their career, what advice could you give them that maybe someone gave you one day that helped you get to where you are or be who you are?
I think just off the top of my head, the very first thing I think about is removing this idea that at some point we are supposed to have it figured out. I know a lot of times we use the excuse of being like, well, I'm growing, or I'm taking time for myself, or I'm taking time to figure out who I am. Yes, that is necessary, but that is an ever going situation. There will never become a time in your life where you'll be like, I know now, I figured it out, So my advice is to allow yourself to grow and mold in the moment. Don't allow yourself to get caught up in thinking that by the age of such and such, you need to be at this part of your life. Allow yourself to be free and to just take it one day at a time.
Beautiful. That being said, we had a pretty crazy year in 2020. and we're still going through it right now. But that aside, you have amazing projects coming out. Your podcast, I'm your biggest fan. Cake likes. How do you, obviously I want you to talk about those two projects and, share with people what they are and what you hope they get from it. But also, how do you continue to drive yourself despite the world falling apart?
I think I have to separate myself from it. I have to create boundaries that allow me to be able to still be satisfied with who I am and what I'm doing, and not allowing the outside world to impact that. And I think I learned that even more this last year, because so much was happening all the time outside of these four walls, that anytime it started to leak in, it started to give me anxiety. It started to make me not feel good. And I think what I've done is that I've kind of recalibrated my mind to focus on everything that I do in life. It has to be based on how it makes me feel. Does it bring me joy? Does it make me feel fulfilled? Does it fill me up? If it can do that, then that's how I know that I'm doing the right thing. And that is the thing that I should continue to do.
I love that. I can definitely see that. Again, I've followed you from the beginning. So I've seen that a lot of what you do and a lot of what you put out there, I can tell that there's an intention behind it. And that it comes from a place of, I'm not doing this just to get Instagram clout. This is what either brings me a lot of joy and I want to share it with people, or this is what I feel is right for me to move on to the next thing and to continue to evolve. Let's talk about your projects.
Yes.
Cake alike.
Oh, well, Cake Likes is out now on Discovery Plus. It is a Food Network show. Discovery Plus is basically Discovery's brand of TV network shows. They have created a streaming platform, and Cake Likes was a part of the launch. And basically, Cake Likes is, I serve as a judge, and we bring in these amazing cake artists around the entire country, and they come in and they have to make full life-size figures of celebrities made out of cake. So think of wax figures, but instead of wax, it's made out of cake. And they only have 14 hours to do so. It is so funny. It is literally one of my favorite things that I have ever done. I enjoyed the process. I'm hoping that we get a season 2. I'm excited because the first 3 episodes are out now. And the first episodes, we have Kim Kardashian, we have Lady Gaga, we have RuPaul, we have Flavor Flav, we have the Brady Bunch, we have some iconic people that these people are making. So I'm so excited for Cake Likes. And then for my podcast, I'm your biggest fan. I'm so excited to talk to celebrities about nostalgia and talk about how they became who they are today. What are the things that they experienced? I think for me, because my trajectory was so quick, I think I bypassed a lot of lessons that a lot of people, had to experience. And so I wanted to know lessons from other people so that I could make sure that I didn't make the same mistakes, in my life. So that's why I decided to do the podcast.
Well, for Cake Likes, I can tell you right now, I would never, ever bake for you or cook for you, because I would not want you judging me. Oh my gosh. I mean, I know it comes from a place of love and you are hilarious. And I love seeing you, judge what people make and cook and bake. I would be so scared.
Oh my God, it's so funny because people would come on the show and they would say that. But the good thing is that they don't have to bake the cake. They just have to make it look like the celebrity. So that's a plus in it, but still it can be a little hard. And I trust you on the show. I'm very honest. If something don't look right, it don't look right, baby.
And then for I'm your biggest fan, I do think that is beautiful because it is great to learn from other people's journeys. And we are now in a time and a space where social media just catapults people's careers so quickly. Not for everyone, but for people like you, it has. So for a show where you are interviewing some of, your top celebrities, some of the people that you've looked up to, what is it like now knowing that you are someone like that for other people now? You're the person with the fans.
Sometimes I don't even realize it. To me, it's just a job. That's the way I look at it. It's like I just go to work, But I think what I do acknowledge is the fact of what I think about is all the Black and brown queer kids, you know, because I think about growing up and not having anybody to look up to be like, that's who I want to be, or that's what I can be. You know, a lot of times people be like, well, who did you look up to growing up? And I'd be like, nobody. There was no representation. You know, I just had to figure it out on my own. And so I think I find peace in knowing that I can be that beacon of light for so many other queer youth, you know, that they can look at me on a TV and be like, oh, so that's what I can do? That's a possibility for me? That's all that matters to me. And I think that's why I do everything, because I just want to be able to break down those barriers and open those doors and show people what is possible. I mean, that was the whole reason why I did For Christmas Sake this past holiday season, which was my movie musical, was because I was tired of people like us not being seen in holiday movies when we experience and celebrate the holidays as well. So I wanted to center us full right in the front of that, you know. So I think everything that I do is for the purpose of representation and visibility.
You know, I think that is so beautiful what you said. And I think that you are a truly, truly, truly a great example of someone who just not just lives in their truth, but does it in such a beautiful, authentic, pure way that comes with a beautiful intention, which is why you're accomplishing so much. And I'm sure there's a lot more that you want to accomplish. And I cannot think of someone who is more deserving. I mean, I don't know you personally, but from what I get from everything you've done so far, I truly believe you are on a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journey. And I hope that we get to see so much more of you, because you are it. You are what we need. We need the love. We need the pureness. We need the light. We need the joy. We need the looks. We need all of it. And you have it all in one package. So I'm so thankful for you and for coming on the show and sharing your projects. And I hope to see more of you.
Oh, thank you so much. I hope to keep on, you know, breaking the ceiling.
It's one of the hottest topics right now, the keto diet. And today we're going to welcome celebrity chef Michael Silverstein, who's going to talk to us about the diet and about this hot new book that he has coming out right now. Michael, welcome to the agenda. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm so good. I'm pretty excited to be here.
Oh, we're super excited to have you. So let's talk about this because, you know, Latinos are so weird about their diets. For those of us that don't know a lot about it, what's the keto diet?
Okay, keto diet, you know, really simply put, you're cutting out the sugar, you're cutting out the bread, and sadly, those tortillas got to go. But there are solutions, and we can get into that in a second, but you can do it, and it's a great way to lose weight. It's a great way to feel good because you're getting rid of those heavy carbs. So it's really a diet of meat and vegetables. That's it.
And you're living testimony to this because you lost a bunch of pounds with a diet. So how was that experience? How was it energy wise? Like, how do you feel? Was it very challenging?
You know, I didn't find it challenging, but I have a little, I don't know, unfair advantage being that I'm a chef and I could make food for myself, whatever I needed. So I had a cheat. I had a little bit of a cheat that I knew how to cook. But, you know, I really found success just by like keeping it simple and just cooking meals at home and kind of avoiding the tempting takeout and all that stuff. I mean, look, the thing is you hear so much crap about the keto diet, controversy, this, that. There's so much information out there, especially when you have like a trendy diet. You're going to find people trying to take advantage of you and sell you pills and powders and all this stuff and all this information. But it's really not that hard. You know, you just get back to your basics and kind of eat just real food at home. So meat and vegetables, fish, all that stuff is great. So I loved it. I mean, I love to eat. So I liked keto because you can eat the whole time. You're not like counting calories.
That's amazing. And you've had an incredible trajectory. I mean, your career, so many things you have done, so many exciting things. But we're going to focus on your book. What happened?
Sure.
Why did you think, let's make a book. Let's get people on board with the keto diet and your version of the keto diet.
Yeah. I mean, I think in 2020, we all probably had to cook a little bit more than we ever have before. And
yeah, that Corona cushion is very popular.
Yeah, that's for sure. But, you know, first of all, I love sharing my food. It's always been a dream of mine to make a cookbook. And in the fall of last year, you know, coming off of a successful run at getting healthy, I wanted to share those recipes with people and, you know, get my food onto people's tables. As a chef, it's kind of a dream, you know, when I see people making my food at their home, it feels good. So that's really just like, follow my dream, follow my passion, and making food. So I wrote this cookbook. I basically locked myself in my house for the first 6 months of quarantine and just cooked and tested recipes and wrote and just put my heart and soul down on paper. So I called it New Keto Cooking. It's really a new approach to keto because it's not really diet food. It's just like really tasty chef-inspired food that anybody can make at home. So it is kind of a new twist on keto. And it really doesn't have that diet feel. No boring salads, none of that kind of stuff. It's really vibrant, flavorful food. Yeah.
That sounds awesome, awesome, awesome. So do you have any like small tips or things in the book where we can find in the recipes so that we can jump on the keto wagon?
Yeah, for sure. Look, there's a lot of keto dishes or a lot of Latin inspired dishes that you really can make keto. In my book, I have carnitas, I have tostadas. I have a few good options in there that are kind of inspired by Latin food, but there's a lot more options. You can go to the grocery store now and buy low carb tortillas in pretty much any supermarket. You can even make your own tortillas with just shredded cheese in your nonstick pan. You just fry it and it becomes a delicious taco shell. So there really are options now, and I promise you can do it.
So where do we find this magic, fantastic book?
I mean, really anywhere books are sold, but find the book, of course, on Amazon. Just search New Keto Cooking. It's also on Target and Walmart's websites, Barnes & Noble, anywhere you list it. And then, of course, find me on Instagram. That's where I give out tons more recipes and daily content, all kinds of fun tips and tricks, and just my daily antics. And that is on Instagram at Chef Michael Keto, Keto. And then, of course, my website is chefmichael.com.
Fantastic. And Michael, as a member of the community, I want to finish this interview by asking you to tell our viewers, where do you find your strength, and what do you think nowadays with everything happening in the world, our young viewers that are watching us right now, where do they find their strength to keep on going?
I know for me personally, I find my own strength in reminding myself to just be me, be my authentic self, and don't feel like I have to fit into any box or anybody else's mind. Just be me, get out, be proud of who you are. And I think that's really the most important thing. That's where I find my strength. So I wake up every day ready to just be my authentic self.
I love it. Nobody can be you better than you. And thank you so much, Michael, for joining us
today. Thank you. This is so much fun.
And for sharing your book. And I'm super excited. I'm going to go get it. And I'm definitely going to try the recipes.
I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for having me.